This play was good enough for us, Harry. It was Romeo and Juliet. I must admit, I was rather annoyed at the idea of seeing Shakespeare done in such a wretched hole of a place. Still, I felt interested in a sort of way. At any rate, I determined to wait for the first act. It was a dreadful orchestra preceded over by a young Hebrew who sat at a cracked piano. That nearly drove me away. But at last, the drop scene was drawn up and the play began. Romeo was played by a stout elderly gentleman with corked eyebrows, a husky tragedy voice, and a figure like a beer barrel. Mercutio was almost as bad. He was played by the low comedian who had introduced gags of his own, and was on most friendly terms with the pit. They were both as grotesque as the scenery, which looked as if it had come out of a country booth. But Juliet. Harry. Imagine a girl, hardly 17 years of age, with a little flower-like face, a small Greek head of plaited brown coils, eyes that were violent wells of passion, lips like the petals of a rose. She was the loveliest thing I'd ever seen in my life. You said to me once that pathos left you unmoved, but that beauty, mere beauty, would fill your eyes with tears. I tell you, Harry, I could hardly see this girl for the mist of tears that came across me. And her voice, I had never heard such a voice. It was very low at first, with deep mellow notes that seemed to fall singly upon one's ear. And then it grew a little louder, and it sounded like a flute or a distant hautboy. In the garden scene it had all the tremulous ecstasy one hears just before dawn when nightingales are singing. And there were moments later on when it had the wild passion of violins. You know how a voice can stir one. Your voice and the voice of Sybil Vane are two things I shall never forget. I hear them when I close my eyes, and each of them says something different. I don't know which to follow. Why should I not love her? I do love her, Harry. She means everything to me in life. Night after night I go to see her play. One evening she's Rosalind, and the next evening she's Imogen. I've seen her die in the gloom of the Italian tomb, sucking the poison from her lover's lips. I've watched her wandering through the forest of Arden, disguised as a pretty boy in hose and doublet and dainty cap. She has been mad, come into the presence of the guilty king, and given him rue to wear, and bitter herbs to taste of. She has been innocent, and had the black hands of jealousy crush her weave like bread. I have seen her in every age, and in every costume. Ordinary women never appeal to one's imagination. They are too limited to their century. No glamour ever transfigures them. One knows their minds as easily as one knows their bonnets. One can always find them. There is no mystery in any of them. They ride in the park in the morning and chatter at tea parties in the afternoon. They have their stereotyped smile and their fashionable manner. They are quite obvious. But an actress. How different an actress is. Harry, why didn't you tell me the one thing worth loving is an actress?